Part 31. Fantasy, I'm really not an unparalleled expert. Author, Xuanhuan. Chapter 302. In Behu State, many Saint clan forces were uprooted. Several of the quasi-mighty ones died. As soon as the news came out, northern Xinjiang was shocked. How is that possible? Could it be that the holy veins of the human race took action? This is going to start a war. Even the quasi-mighty ones are dead, and there is indeed a strong person behind the White Tiger clan. The world spread the news. The demonic cow clan, it was the demonic cow clan who took action. The demonic cow clan defected to the so-called Wild Sky Alliance. At this time, a piece of news came out immediately. After all, in the great battle that took place in the White Tiger State, the demonic cow clan appeared almost as a whole and could not be concealed. The desolate Sky Alliance did not deliberately hide it. After hearing the news, northern Xinjiang was like a tsunami. The demonic cow clan, the majestic saint clan, actually defected to the human race. Moreover, he also fought for the human race and took action against many holy forces such as Demon Spider Valley. Intolerable. Demonic Spider Valley. In the valley, on a huge spider web, a gorgeous woman in a black dress was as angry as ice. The entire spider web trembled because of her anger. She is the holy master of Demonic Spider Valley, Mo Shenzhu. In the past, before we returned, there were people in the White Tiger State who dared to take action against our descendants from the Demon Spider Valley. Today, we have arrived, and there are still people in Behu State who dare to openly kill our clan. It's tolerable, but what can't be tolerated? Please ask for the holy weapon, and I will take action myself. As soon as these words came out, the entire Demon Spider Valley was shaken. This means that Demon Spider Valley is going to start a clan war? At the same time, people are forbidden to live in a sea of flowers. The endless piranha flowers look gorgeous when viewed from a distance, but if you get up close, they are enough to make you lose your mind. In the middle of the endless sea of forbidden flowers, there are piranha flowers several thousand feet high, alluring and terrifying. Behuzhu, you are so bold. One of them turned into a beautiful woman wearing a colorful dress. Her face was extremely cold, and she looked at the two ancient piranha flowers in the center. Those are the two ancient saints in their forbidden flower sea. Xuanhuan, please ask the two ancient saints to give you the holy weapon. This time, the power of the White Tiger State, in the eyes of Xuanhuan, who was forbidden to live in the sea of flowers, was at least above the saint level. So, be sure to be well prepared. As she finished speaking, a flower seed suddenly fell from one of the old piranha plants. Seeing this, Xuanhuan was immediately overjoyed. This is a clone of the ancient sage piranha. The abyss of heaven. Not long after the death of Shadian, the genius of our clan, a quasi-powerful man was killed again. The terrifying evil spirit turned into a huge python, causing the situation to change. Spiritual Master Shatiandiao has an unshirkable duty and orders you to immediately lead your people to turn the 10,000 miles White Tiger State into a realm of evil spirits. An old voice sounded from an ancient saint. As you command. A powerful voice sounded. Soon after, countless terrifying evil spirits rushed out of the Tianxia abyss and gathered into a burly and gloomy middle-aged man. He is Shatiandiao, the spiritual master of Xuanhuan. This time, he will go in person. Many saint clans are coming in droves. And at this moment, Behuzhu, Wang Cheng, Huolinger and others were ready. The ancient saint of the demonic cow has arrived with the 7 great powers of the demonic cow clan. Outside, a loud shout rang out. Immediately, Huolinger and others were surprised and rushed out immediately. Above the sky, 8 figures fell. The leader is an old man with gray hair. Although he is old, he has an invisible aura of the holy way. Wherever he goes, people can't help but feel a sense of worship. This is, the ancient saint of the demonic cow clan. The people following behind him were all powerful men from the demonic cow clan. Greetings, Senior. Huolinger gives a gift. No need to be polite. The ancient saint of the demonic cow tribe smiled slightly and said. The old and rotten cow shakes the sky. From today on, our clan will surrender under the banner of the Lord of the Wild Sky. As an ancient saint, the saint of a clan, he can be called the real strong man in the world, but he is so easygoing at the moment, and when he mentions the Lord of Desolate Sky, there is even a hint of respect on his face. Niu Zhentian could never forget the scene he saw in the small mountain village. Even the ancient yak can only be tied up at the entrance of the village. Therefore, in his opinion, the Lord of Desolate Heaven must be the owner of the ancient yak, so terrifying. Although the demonic cow clan is also a saint clan, he understands that he is nothing in front of others. It's wise to hug your thighs quickly. Therefore, he came directly with all the powerful people in the clan. This is an attitude. Huolinger and others also had complicated expressions. Is this the power of Senior Li? Once he speaks his word, the saints will follow him. Holy Lord Yuan Yang murmured. Grandpa is really too wise. We, the White Tiger clan, have taken advantage of us in advance. In the eyes of Senior Li and others, our status may even be higher than that of the Saint clan. Bai Xiaoyang looked even more happy. If he hadn't hugged his thighs, where would the White Tiger clan be today? Thanks also to Bai Xiaoqing. After all, without Bai Xiaoqing to please Senior Li, they would be even less likely to gain Senior Li's favor. Please take a seat. Huolinger invited the ancient saints of the demonic cow tribe and his party into the hall. Two alliance leaders, Lao Niu will speak frankly. At this time, ancient sage Niu Zhentian said. This time, the three major saint clans in northern Xinjiang came out in full force. There is no doubt that they launched a clan war. Among the three tribes, there are ancient saints. Lao Niu is not afraid of fighting. However, if Lao Niu fights against many people by one person, he may not have a good chance of winning. May I ask the Lord of the Wild Sky, are you prepared? His old face was very solemn. After all, this time the entire demonic cow clan is at stake. You'll find out later. Huolinger just said lightly. Human ants, get out. The demonic cow clan will be exterminated today. Suffer death. Right now. Outside the royal city, in the sky, there are thousands of terrifying chi machines falling down. The whole world was shocked. Get ready to fight. Huolinger gave an order, and in an instant, all the powerful men in the Wild Sky Alliance rose into the air. At a glance, the front is densely packed with terrifying saints. In the demonic Spider Valley, Holy Lord Mo Shenzhou was wearing a long dress and looked cold. In the Tianxia Abyss, Lord Shatiandiao is alone, but behind him is an endless realm of evil spirits, and countless creatures of the Tianxia tribe are floating in and out of treasures. People are surrounded by a sea of flowers, and the flowers in the moon's long skirt are colorful, and behind them there is a dense sea of countless flowers. The three most powerful saint clans. All are here. The demonic ox ancient saint. Hua Tunyu suddenly looked at the demonic ox ancient sage. Niu Zhentian said indifferently. Exactly. Hua Tunyu said from a high position, the ancient sage of our tribe said that you and her old man had some friendship. If you lower your head and admit your mistake, the demon cow clan can still be saved. Threaten. However, Niu Zhentian did look up to the sky and smile, saying. When have I, Niu Zhentian, ever been afraid of those two man-eating flowers? What you brought is just a clone, not my opponent, let them come in person. The fighting spirit is fierce. Hua Tunyu was silent for a moment and said. Since the ancient saint is stubborn, we can only understand the ancient saint of our clan. As soon as she finished speaking. Contact us now. This moment. Thousands of miles away, in the middle of the sea of forbidden flowers, two ancient piranha plants suddenly transformed into two old women and disappeared in an instant. The aura of the holy way spreads across the sky. Even though it is tens of thousands of miles away, it is only a short distance away at the feet of the saint. Boom! The powerful aura of the holy way fell from the white tiger state in an instant. The demonic cow tribe betrayed the saint tribe order. You deserve to die today. One of the old women shouted. The ancient saint of the demonic cow clan smiled coldly, and then punched towards the two piranha ancient saints. Above the sky, the space is about to be shattered in an instant. Both sides fought to the point of madness. Kill, kill, kill. Niu Genshin's Niu Demon Fist was so powerful that it was 1 against 2, but he was not at a disadvantage at all. The blood of the ancient sage of the Ox clan, it's exciting just thinking about it. At this moment, a terrifying spider web suddenly fell from the 9 heavens. Dragnet. The ancient saint of demonic Spider Valley has arrived. The 3 ancient saints suppressed Niu Gentian. Niu Gentian looked up to the sky and roared, fighting hard. His bull demon fist was used to its extreme, breaking all the dragnets, but he also instantly coughed up blood. 1 versus 3, it's too difficult. Niu Gentian, since you want to die, I will grant it to you today. At this moment, the sky is dark. It seemed like something terrible had fallen. The realm of evil spirits for thousands of miles suddenly shrouded. It was a terrifying evil spirit dragon, tens of thousands of feet long. It opened its mouth full of evil spirit and almost swallowed Niu Gentian directly. The ancient saint of Xuanhuan. The 4 ancient saints are all here. Niu Gentian, are unyielding. Niu Gentian looked up to the sky and screamed, his soul boiling. However, the next moment when he faced the 4 ancient sages, he was knocked upside down and fell. Boom! Niu Gentian fell on the royal city, shaking the ground so much that it cracked. There was blood at the corner of his mouth. In the sky, the 4 great saints are arriving hand in hand. Today, God will kill God if he stands in his way, and Buddha will be killed if he stands in the way of Buddha. The White Tiger clan should have been destroyed long ago. Even if the 7 human races come, they can't save you. The 4 ancient saints are so arrogant. Niu Gentian raised his eyes were filled with glare, and he was about to charge again. However, at this moment, Huo Linger said calmly. Senior Niu, you can rest now. Just leave everything to us. Although the demonic cows have defected to the Wild Sky Alliance, their loyalty needs to be tested. Huo Linger has been in charge of the Xiantian Alliance for many years, so he is cautious. Now it seems that the demonic cows have passed the test. Niu Gentian looked back, a little confused. The 4 ancient sages. How could Huo Linger, a mere sea-opening level powerhouse, make a comeback? Die. Above the sky, the 4 ancient saints suddenly joined forces. The sky trembles and the space roars, as if the world is being destroyed. But, just at this moment, Huo Linger waved his hand. Beside her, Bai Xiaoyang stepped forward. He, suddenly opened a scroll in his hand on the spot. As the scroll slowly opens, it seems that a magnificent time and world appeared next. Fantasy, I'm really not an unparalleled expert. Author, Xuanhuan. Chapter 303. The 4 saints take action together. The demonic bull saint Niu Gentian has been defeated. But at this moment, Bai Xiaoyang stepped forward and opened the scroll in his hand. The moment when the scroll slowly opened, a majestic and terrifying aura suddenly emerged from it. It was as if a dusty and deserted world had reappeared. It's like a forgotten time has come again. That is the breath of ancient times. That is the supreme charm. Faintly, the situation was majestic, as if there was an ancient terrifying beast roaring, followed by it. At this moment, all the races in the field were shocked. The attacks of the four saints fell suddenly. In that picture scroll, a shocking beast roar suddenly came out. That's the roar of the white tiger. It is a shocking anger. The terrifying sound waves of beast roars are like waves crashing on the shore, sweeping thousands of miles away. The powerful attacks of the four saints were like being swept away by a tsunami, destroying everything. When the sound waves reached the sky, the faces of the four great saints all changed horribly, as if their souls were trembling. Ah! The four saints were all vomiting blood at this moment, and their faces were extremely pale. They fell directly from the air, their faces were horrified. That painting, what is hidden in that painting? The saint of the Tianxia tribe looked horrified. The realm of evil spirits behind him was actually cracking and disintegrating as the scroll unfolded. No. There is a terrible murder hidden in that painting. Don't open it, don't open it. The saint of demonic Spider Valley, at this moment, the real spider has manifested itself. He is extremely frightened and trembling all over, as if the scroll is a devil. Stop! Stop! The two flower saints in the forbidden flower sea were trembling and begging to buy Xiaoyang. At this moment, the picture scroll has not been fully opened. However, the four great saints were all so frightened that they even lost the courage to fight. Niu Zhentian was stunned and stared at the painting in disbelief. Thousands of powerful men and heroes of the Saint clan are all dead at this moment. Everyone is looking at that painting. Finally, the picture scroll. Finally revealed. That's a mountain. It seems to be standing in the ancient world, unique in the world. On the top of the mountain, there is a white tiger. The white tiger is so lifelike, as if it is living in another world, entrenched on the top of the mountain, arrogant in the world, raising its head and roaring. Ah! No! My eyes! At this moment, countless people in the field suddenly shed tears, became completely blind, convulsed on the spot, and foamed at the mouth. No matter how powerful you are not immune. Because, when they peeked at the painting, they seemed to hear the white tiger roaring up to the sky in the painting. Their souls were torn apart in an unimaginable way. And as the scroll unfolded, suddenly, the white tiger entrenched on the mountain peak in the scroll jumped out. Above the white tiger stayed, suddenly, a terrifying white tiger appeared. At this moment, everything in the world trembled. Thousands of avenues are falling continuously, and the holy rhyme is overwhelmingly emerging. All races prostrate. White tiger, among them, what is depicted is the ancient imperial clan, White Tiger. The saint of demonic Spider Valley had blood flowing from her eyes at this moment, and her body collapsed and melted. The White Tiger is not extinct, the White Tiger clan, and there is a powerful one, hidden in the painting, no. The saint of the Tianxia tribe let out a shrill scream, and the realm of evil spirits collapsed. The endless evil energy actually disappeared directly, and he disappeared into thin air. Help! Will the imperial clan reappear? No. The two saints in the sea of flowers are crying out sadly, the petals are withering and the plants are withering. At this moment, the four saints fell. As soon as the white tiger appears, all spirits disappear. There are hundreds of thousands of tribesmen from demonic Spider Valley, Tianxia Abyss, human Forbidden Flower Sea and other forces. They are all prostrate and trembling at this moment. What kind of picture is this? A painting to kill the four saints. Ouch! Above the sky, the white tiger roared suddenly. At this moment, it was as if an invincible being in heaven and earth was commanding the mountains and rivers. Boom! In an instant, the earth erupted and the mountains rose. In Behu State, there are actually mountains stretching tens of thousands of miles rising from the ground. A painting floats in the sky, and the shadow of a white tiger roars. However, at this moment, fate repeats itself and heaven and earth reopen. The earth bows its head and obeys the orders, but the heaven dare not stop it. Terrifying mountains suddenly formed. In the picture scroll, suddenly there are mysterious rules operating on the mountain peak, reflecting reality. And among the continuous mountains, a mountain peak filled with the aura of the terrifying Holy Way appeared instantly. It's tens of thousands of feet tall. The Green Mountains and Green Mountains are unparalleled in ancient times, as if this place has reappeared from another world. This is exactly the same as the mountain in the painting. And above the sky, the white tiger landed on the mountain peak in an instant, and then turned into nothingness, and its trace could no longer be found. At this moment, the entire Behu state was filled with endless aura of the holy path, and the powerful source of the holy path had been reborn. Countless white tiger tribesmen knelt down one after another, and they worshipped towards the top of the mountain. They all felt the call of the soul of the courtyard, a sense of belonging that came from their blood, and a spontaneous worship. The ancient white tiger ancestors. There are records in the clan's classics that our clan once stood in the holy way and was the supreme clan. At this moment, has the glory returned? It must be like this, haha, the glory of our clan has returned, the glory has returned. During the day, there were a lot of people waiting, and they were all extremely excited. In the midst of all the attention, in the sky, the scroll slowly fell to the ground. Back in Bai Shaoyang's hands. Bai Shaoyang looked at the scroll in his hand, but he was completely in a daze. His hands were trembling faintly. Sky. What kind of treasure is this scroll? The power of just opening the book is enough to kill the four saints. Moreover, it can reflect reality. He clearly felt that the continuous mountains gathered countless auras of the holy way. And that mountain peak contains the terrifying source of the holy path. Moreover, the shadow of the white tiger clearly contains the most primitive inheritance of the white tiger clan. What a gift is this! This is not as good as giving the white tiger clan a chance to rejoin the imperial clan. The white tiger imperial clan may reappear because of this painting. His heart was racing. Not only him, but Huo Ling Mu Jianing and others around him also had complicated expressions. Senior Li, what a master you are! Mu Jianing murmured. This is also terrifying. One painting can create a supreme clan. People like Senior Li can change the rise and fall of all races with just a wave of his hand. Huo Ling murmured. Next to him, the supreme powerhouse of the demonic cow clan was even more shocked. Previously, perhaps some strong people were unwilling to give in. Unwilling to become a vassal of human forces. But now, everyone is silent. What kind of person must the Lord of Desolate Heaven be if he can have such a skill? I don't even dare to think about it. On the other side, Niu Zhentian, the ancient saint of the Niu tribe, was also deeply grateful. Fortunately, he was the first to charge and didn't flinch at all. Dushan and Niuyuan have won an extremely glorious opportunity for our clan. Niu Zhentian was a little excited. In the future, our clan must devote all our loyalty to you. His determination is even stronger. And at this moment, on the land of northern Xinjiang, light and rain fell to the ground one after another. Countless Taoist rhymes and principles turned into heavy rain and returned to heaven and earth. This is a sign of the fall of the saint. Northern Xinjiang exploded. P.S. I personally don't want to create a group anymore, so as not to keep me in the group, delay my coding, and slow down updates. So I created a public WeChat account, Geixen's Nest, where I will post some work-related information, such as settings and so on. In addition, in order to enrich the meals of the villagers in the small mountain village and provide better dishes for Li Fan's master and apprentice, I made a menu ha. Please pay attention to Geixen's Nest and reply to menu to order. Haha, I will be there in time. Prepare the dishes everyone ordered and let master and disciple Li Fan eat them hot. Public account, Geixen's Nest. In addition, let's talk about updates. They are updated 3 times a day, usually after midnight in the morning. If you work part-time, it is difficult to update after 3 updates. You can only do your best. Besides, Li Fan is the only time traveler in the whole world, there is no one else. The underworld is not the earth. Do not worry. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Fantasy, I'm really not an unparalleled expert. Author, Xuanhuan. Chapter 304. Light rain falls. In the entire northern Xinjiang, all cultivators feel it. What? This vision of light and rain, does this mean that the saint has fallen? The saint transforms into the Tao, and the Tao returns to heaven and earth. Heaven, what is going on? The world was shocked. Even in the era of the Holy Path, saints are also truly strong. The cultivation level reaches the sky and the earth, and the appearance of one can make a clan enter the sequence of saints. However, 4 of them have fallen now. In the decisive battle of Beihu State, the 3 tribes of demonic Spider Valley, Xuanhuan and Renjin were all destroyed. The ancient saint took action and fell. Immediately afterwards, news from Beihu State came out. Northern Xinjiang looks sideways. I have long heard that there are other powerful races behind the White Tiger clan. Looking at it now, it is indeed true. Haha, the Desolate Sky Alliance? I suspect that the powerful Holy Path forces are behind it. It must be so. Speculations abound. And at this moment. What? How is it possible? All the saints of our clan are dead. In the Tianxia abyss, an extremely old evil spirit was trembling. He is a quasi-sage and very powerful. At this moment, I was completely shocked when I heard the news from Beihu State. Quickly, report this news, to the Sky Eagle royal family. He spoke quickly. In the entire northern territory, the Sky Eagle royal clan leads countless saint clans. Now, the entire Tianxuan has almost suffered a catastrophe of annihilation. I am afraid that only the royal family is qualified to intervene. What on earth is there in Beihu State? In the Sea of Flowers, a female voice is angry and frightened. All the piranha flowers were trembling this day. Scared. Totally scared. I want to personally meet the powerful people of the Sky Eagle royal family. A piranha rose into the sky. The saint of my clan is dead, at least the saint took action. An old spider, with a terrifyingly deep voice, said word by word. This is most likely a powerful force in the human race that has intervened. Report it to the royal family immediately. If the human race wants to start a war, only the king can lead the races. In northern Xinjiang, after the fall of the 4 saints, it fell into a strange silence. It seems that everyone is waiting. In the northern immortal territory, at the junction of the northern territory and the central territory, there is a terrifying cliff. This cliff is a forbidden area. Even the strong ones among the saints did not dare to come at will. Because this terrifying cliff is called Yingtian Cliff. Yingtian Cliff is the territory of one of the ancient royal families, the Tianying royal family. The royal family is superior to the saint family and the noble family. It can be said that every royal family commands countless saints, nobles, etc. In the entire northern immortal territory, among the ancient saints, there were only 1 imperial clan and 3 royal clans. The rarity of its quantity is evident. Today, the powerful auras of the 3 statues stayed under this dangerous cliff. Quasi-sages from the 3 major forces, Tianxia Abyss, Human Forbidden Flower Sea, and Demonic Spider Valley, are all here. Under the dangerous cliff, there is a terrifying barrier, enough to destroy the saint. Unlike ordinary saints and nobles, once they reach the level of the royal family, the number of heirs in the family will decrease sharply. It would be good for a royal family to have several thousand people. The imperial clan is even more terrifying. In the imperial clan, it is difficult for there to be more than 10 direct descendants. Therefore, it is difficult to see people from the imperial clan and royal clan in the outside world. However, as long as he is born, he must rule the world. I'm waiting to report something big. They spoke loudly. As a saint, you need to pay tribute to the royal family regularly. Similarly, if the saint clan is in crisis, the royal clan will also come forward. After a long time, the barrier below Yingtian Cliff suddenly disappeared. The three quasi-sages immediately entered it. Soon after, the three quasi-sages knelt under a high cliff with an eagle head. Above the cliff, a huge throne with bright golden light suddenly appeared. That royal family is hundreds of miles away. The terrifying aura of the Holy Way followed, and countless creatures within thousands of miles around were crawling on their knees at this moment. On the throne, sat a man in a golden feather robe. The moment he appeared, the three quasi-sages below all trembled. They all understood the identity of the man on the throne, the Holy Lord of the Sky Eagle royal family. A generation of holy kings, Yingbo Tian. And around Yingboshan, there were dozens of powerful men from the Sky Eagle royal family standing by his side. On his left-hand side, stood a young girl. The girl's body was shining with golden light and she was extremely holy. The saint of the Sky Eagle royal family Ying Xiaoxiao. They told everything that happened in Beihu State. The man in the golden bathrobe suddenly frowned slightly. None of the 7 lines of the human race are in the northern border. Among all the clans, no one will protect the White Tiger clan. This matter is strange, let me deduce it. Yingboshan's face turned cold. Then he raised his hand. In an instant, the galaxy trembled and the void trembled. It's as if the years are going back, as if time and space are repeating themselves. The three quasi-sages were extremely excited. A generation of saints took action. Who could resist? All causes and effects will happen again. Countless scenes reappeared under Yingboshan's hands. It's as if light and shadow are about to converge. Ouch! However, at this moment, a wisp of white mist suddenly appeared on the screen. No. Sitting on the throne, Yingboshan, who had an indifferent expression just now, suddenly changed his expression. He lost his voice and almost fell from the throne. His eyes were clearly filled with fear. Seeing this scene, the three quasi-sages below were all shocked. What's going on? A generation of holy kings, who personally conducted deductions, was actually frightened like this? Weird, so weird. How could such strange things appear in northern Xinjiang? Could it be said that there is a Yang forbidden land in northern Xinjiang? Absolutely impossible. Many saint-level experts in the Sky Eagle royal family spoke one after another. As Yingboshan stopped, the picture in the sky disappeared, and the white mist also disappeared. But the Sky Eagle royal family is still in shock. Father, this. Ying Xiaoxiao, the saint of the Tianying royal family, walked up to Yingboshan, her beautiful eyes filled with worry, and said, "Do you want me to tell the Golden Winged Dapen?" The Golden Winged Dapen clan is the imperial clan. The only imperial clan among the ancient clans in the northern immortal territory. And Ying Xiaoxiao is already the fiancé of a holy son of the Golden Winged Dapen tribe. At this moment, she saw a strange thing like white mist actually appearing here, and she was deeply afraid of being contaminated with evil. Even the royal family cannot afford what Beiwu is involved in. However, Yingboshan shook his head. No, not busy. There are countless Yang forbidden places in the world, and there is no one in the northern border of the northern immortal territory. I suspect that what is hidden somewhere is not an existence in the Yang forbidden land, but a great opportunity. A gleam of light shot out of Yingboshan's eyes. As the holy master of the royal family, he knows more secrets. For all races in the world, there is only one true forbidden land, Yang forbidden land. Because, among them, Dormant are terrifying creatures that are contaminated with yang energy and suffer from ominous conditions. There is a rumor among the ancient tribes that for creatures contaminated with yang qi, the laws of the underworld cannot be deduced. Otherwise, all kinds of weird things will appear. Gray fog, black fog, etc. are the most common. White mist, although it is unheard of and unseen, it must be related to it. Only when the yang tide arrives, the existence in the yang forbidden land will be possible. Take a chance. In this life, the yang tide has not yet arrived, and those beings in the forbidden land will not come out. Therefore, the existence in northern Xinjiang is an existence that can be contaminated with yang qi, but ultimately did not transform into the forbidden land of yang. Yangboshan's eyes lit up and he said, "The inability to break the restricted area shows that he is not strong enough. He couldn't help but want to be born before the yang tide arrived, which means that he couldn't wait any longer and was about to reach the end, so he had to fight hard. If we can hunt it and get a ray of yang energy, then it is not impossible for our clan to rise from the royal clan to the imperial clan." He muttered. Yang energy involves great terror, but it also represents great opportunity. Yangboshan suddenly looked at Yang Xiaoxiao and said, "Xiaoxiao, go and investigate immediately." When Yang Xiaoxiao heard this, she immediately said, "Yes." She calmly walked down Yingtian Cliff. Below, the three Quasi sages were overjoyed to see that the Sky Eagle royal family actually sent people to attack. This is a sure thing. And at this moment, somewhere in an extremely mysterious palace, it's too difficult to deduce. If you want to recast the emperor's body for the ancestor emperor, you must find unicorn wood, sacred blood grass, and 3 life's oils. An old saint, with a pale face and weak energy. They have been conducting deductions for many days. I have been looking for a few treasures. Kylan wood is a tree of supreme goodness and the most precious treasure of the Kylan clan. It can be used as the bone of the emperor. The divine blood grass contains the blood of creation. It once created the ancient Sirius imperial clan. It can be the blood of the emperor. 3 lives earth contains the essence of life. According to legend, it is the beginning of all things. It can be the meat of the emperor. With the emperor's bones, the rebirth of the emperor's flesh, and the reappearance of the emperor's blood, the emperor's body is complete. The celestial saint lord sitting at the top murmured. In addition, the big river we discovered last time contains the hot yang qi, which makes people salivate just thinking about it. If the ancestor emperor can absorb it, it will be the supreme glory of our clan. Hearing this, countless saints in the field were also very excited. After all, even a ray of yang energy is hard to find in the world. The immortal realm is also called the yin realm, because there is almost no yang qi here, except for those terrifying yang forbidden lands. Yang qi itself involves great terror, but at the same time it represents supreme opportunity. There is even a legend that yang qi is the ultimate in the holy way. This shows how rare yang qi is. However, in that big river, there is steaming yang qi, which can be called the supreme river that is hard to find in the fairyland. However, the Kylan clan and the ancient Sirius clan were both former imperial clans. They disappeared later, and no one knows where their ancestral palaces are. Kylan wood and divine blood grass are difficult to find. An old saint spoke up and said, "The last time we were able to find that big river full of yang energy, it was God's blessing." Everyone sighed. In fact, they were just lucky enough to discover the big river. After all, they were prepared to spend thousands of years. Resurrecting the ancestor emperor cannot be done overnight. Report. At this time, an old man outside suddenly walked in and said, "Mutation in northern Xinjiang. The 4 great saints of demonic Spider Valley, Tianxia Abyss, and human Forbidden Flower Sea have fallen. After investigation, the strong men of our clan discovered that in the White Tiger state, the world has changed drastically, and it seems that the White Tiger Emperor Peak, the ancestral land of the White Tiger clan, has reappeared. Hearing this, all the powerful men in the field were instantly shocked. What? How is that possible? The White Tiger clan has fallen for countless epochs, and now there is no longer any White Tiger with ancestral blood in the world. The White Tiger Emperor peak was destroyed in a certain disaster long ago. The White Tiger Holy Emperor, a generation of emperors, has no bones left. How can he reappear? They are all confused. Everyone. At this time, the Holy Lord of the Celestial Race suddenly spoke and said, "Our clan's great opportunity has arrived." The Kylan clan and the White Tiger clan were brothers in ancient history. The Holy Emperor of the White Tiger and the Holy Emperor of Kylan were once known as the twin emperors of the Imperial clan, and they were said to be invincible. It is said that when the Yang disaster came, they even connected the White Tiger ancestral land and the Kylan ancestral land into a defensive formation to resist the Yang dynasty. Disaster. A sneer appeared on his face and he said, "Haha, if the ancestral land of the White Tiger clan reappears, the ancestral land of the Kylan clan will definitely reappear in the world." Wait. Pay close attention to changes in the world. Soon, a month went back. 1 month later. The Northern Immortal Territory is a large land in the Central Territory, the Northern Territory, and the Eastern Territory. A huge earthquake. The terrifying death aura is overwhelming, as if a hell is reappearing, stretching for tens of thousands of miles. In several surrounding states, the people were wailing that day, and their lives were devastated. There were even saints who were destroyed directly because of this change. The world's attention. Fantasy, I'm really not an unparalleled expert. Author, Xuanhuan. Chapter 305. A month has passed. In the past month, the northern border has been unusually quiet, and those saints who had lost their saints were as quiet as death for a while. The 4 saints fell, and the ancient clan was shocked. No one dared to challenge Beihu state anymore. The White Tiger state is in great danger, and even the Ho clan is not qualified to go and provoke it. The fall of the 4 saints. Such an ending means that there are at least saint-level existences. Hasn't the White Tiger clan already fallen long ago? Today's White Tiger clan doesn't even have ancestral blood. Demon Spider Valley and other 3 major forces have already gone to Yingtian Cliff. As long as the royal family interferes with this kind of thing, even a saint-level powerhouse will not be able to handle it. There was a lot of discussion. Many forces are paying attention and looking forward to it. To this day, the changes that occurred on the border of the Northern Territory, at the junction of the Central Territory and the Eastern Territory of the Northern Immortal Territory, once again attracted the attention of the people of the world. White Tiger State. In the past month, basically all the people in the Desolate Sky Alliance have migrated out of the Desolate Sky Land. The continuous White Tiger Mountains contain the rich source of the Holy Way, especially the White Tiger Emperor Peak, which has become the holy land of the White Tiger clan. Bai Xiaoyang and others, with the most elite geniuses in the clan, are left to rot there. It's terrible. It turns out that our clan's ancient method is so powerful. Under the White Tiger Emperor Peak, in a large hall, Tianjing and other elders were shocked. From the White Tiger Emperor Peak, they not only obtained the cultivation techniques and the source of the Holy Way, but also learned about the former glory of the White Tiger clan. In the ancient times, they were once the supreme imperial clan. The White Tiger Holy Emperor is respected by the whole world. However, due to a certain era of disaster, the entire family was destroyed. The White Tiger Holy Emperor has fallen. The inheritance of the imperial clan, our White Tiger clan, will definitely prosper. The ancestor of our clan was the former White Tiger Holy Emperor. He once joined forces with the Kylan Holy Emperor to resist the Yang disaster. Now that the White Tiger Emperor Peak has reappeared, God is really blessing our clan. After understanding that period of ancient history, all the strong men of the White Tiger clan were sighing. At the same time, they were also in great awe of the Lord of Desolate Heaven. That's just a painting. It can actually reflect reality, and also reproduce the inheritance and holy land of the White Tiger clan. What kind of terrifying existence is the Lord of Desolate Heaven? The princess saved our clan. Yes, the Lord of Desolate Heaven can take pity on our clan, it must be because the princess serves her wholeheartedly. Everyone became more and more grateful to Bai Xiaoqing. Bai Xiaofeng also had a complicated look on his face. He originally thought that Senior Li was a powerful person in the holy way. Now it seems, mighty. These two words are simply an insult to Senior Li. It is very likely that he is on the same level as the White Tiger Holy Emperor. What does that mean? Does it mean that his daughter is favored by a Saint Emperor level figure? What a great opportunity! After this month of practice, the strength of the White Tiger clan has soared. Saint Yin level and Pai High level powerhouses continue to emerge. Bai Xiaofeng and Bai Xiaoyang have become Saint level powerhouses. At the same time, the strength of the Wild Sky Alliance is also greatly improved. Because, after seeing the White Tiger roaring in the sky painted by Li Fan reflected in reality, they immediately used some of the pictures Li Fan had given them. For example, the picture of the sunset that Li Fan once gave them could actually reflect reality. In the immortal era, Huo Ling and others were only practicing the immortal way, so they could not trigger the power of the holy way in the painting. Therefore, above the White Tiger Emperor Peak, there is a mysterious sunset that seems to never fall, and the terrifying source of the holy path is falling from the sun in strips. A great sun is the source of a terrifying and supreme holy way. This makes the White Tiger Mountains even more unfathomable. The general helm of the Wild Sky Alliance is also established under the White Tiger Emperor Peak, and is baptized by the White Tiger Emperor Peak and the source of the Great Japan every day. Everyone in the Wild Sky Alliance is making rapid progress. Huo Ling Mu Jianing, Holy Master Yuan Yang, Zhuge Shenlu, and others all broke through to the realm of saints. Report. A terrifying change occurred at the junction of the Northern Territory, the Eastern Territory, and the Central Territory. The area tens of thousands of miles away is like a purgatory, with the energy of death soaring into the sky. The surrounding Baikan Prefecture, Menghe Prefecture, and Tianming Prefecture were devastated, and countless people were infected by the death energy and turned into corpses. There are even rumors that some people saw ancient strange beasts turning into ghosts, swallowing the essence of living things, suspected to be Kylin. A piece of news came quickly, shocking the entire Desolate Sky Alliance. Huo Ling immediately summoned everyone. Yinghui Kylin. After hearing the news, Bai Xiaofeng took a breath of air. He looked at each other with Bai Xiaoyang, Bai Tianjing, and others. Does the clan emperor know this thing? Huo Ling asked in confusion. Bai Xiaofeng nodded and said. If my guess is correct, I'm afraid, what appears this time is the ancestral land of the Kylin clan. Hearing this, Huo Ling and others' expressions changed slightly. Kirin. That was a legendary creature that almost no one in the world has ever seen again. Yes, the Kylin clan. Bai Xiaofeng continued. In the ancient times, the White Tiger clan and the Kylin clan were two great imperial clans. The White Tiger Holy Emperor and the Kylin Holy Emperor were sworn friends. When the disaster came, the two Holy Emperors fought with all their might to defeat the White Tiger Emperor Feng and Kylin. The Sacred Valley is connected and turned into a large formation. Now that the White Tiger Emperor Peak has reappeared, it is very likely that Kylin Holy Valley will feel it. Therefore, it has reappeared in the world, but has it turned into a Jedi? When Huo Ling and others heard this, they were all shocked. What kind of disaster is this? At this time, Holy Lord Yuan Yang asked, almost all of them were unfamiliar with this ranking. Bai Xiaofeng's face was extremely solemn and he said, Yang disaster, is the source of countless holy Dao forces having to flee into hidden places. Now that we are not strong enough, we don't know enough information from the White Tiger Emperor Peak. We can only guess that it is a real catastrophe. Even the emperors and royal families have to flee. They learned part of it from the White Tiger Emperor Peak, but perhaps only when their strength continues to improve and can accept more inheritance from the White Tiger Emperor Peak can they get a glimpse of the truth. Hearing this, Huolinger nodded solemnly. Since Kylin is an imperial clan, and now that the ancestral land has reappeared in the world, the ghost Kylin has appeared, we must report it to Senior Li immediately. She spoke. Yes, Senior Li gave the White Tiger Emperor Peak, so he must have expected the Kylin clan to reappear. I just need to ask for instructions. Holy Lord Yuan Yang and others also spoke. Walk. Huolinger spoke immediately, and they set off to the wild and forbidden land. And at this moment, the entire northern immortal territory is paying attention to that strange place. In particular, it became even more sensational after it was revealed that the ghost Kylin loomed in it. In the middle of the northern immortal territory, Xuanhuan Prefecture. Xuanhuan Prefecture was formed by the merger of the three major fairy kingdoms in the original northern immortal territory. Now, it is the ancestral home of the Ji family. Surrounded by Jishui, there are many holy paths. Only under the leadership of the Ji family, the human race as a whole remained stable and was not enslaved or massacred by other saint races. Today, in a main hall of the Ji family. First, the ancestral land of the White Tiger clan reappeared, and now the ghost Kylin appears again. It seems, the ancestral land of Kylin really appears. At the top is an elder of the Ji family, Xuanhuan. He is a powerful person. The Kylin Holy Emperor and the White Tiger Holy Emperor are the most powerful men from ancient times. We must send people to investigate immediately. Xuanhuan spoke indifferently. When the other elders heard this, they also nodded. Feng Chen, take Chang Tian, Chang Ming and others to investigate, and let the geniuses in the clan also go and practice. Xuanhuan spoke next. Next, an old man in grey clothes stood up immediately and said. Yes. He is Elder Ji Feng Chen. That day, he led Mesozoic powerhouses such as Ji Changming and Ji Changtian, as well as young geniuses such as Ji Qingyu, to the ancestral land of Kylin. The ancestral land of the Kylin clan? The value of this place is definitely not lower than that of the White Tiger clan. Somewhere in northern Xinjiang, a girl in a golden feather skirt murmured. It is Ying Xiaoxiao from the Tianying royal family. Behind her were several powerful old men. Go to Kylin's ancestral land first. She changed direction. The celestial clan, in a mysterious palace somewhere. As expected, God helps our clan. A group of old saints were excited. Send people immediately to the ancestral land of the Kylin clan. Get the unicorn wood. They all spoke. The storm is moving. And at this moment, in the great northern wilderness, a small mountain village. In the small courtyard, Li Fan got up very early, but when he just went out, a group of disciples were already waiting for him. The eyes are full of anticipation. Master, can you start doing exercises now? Subakian asked weakly. Li Fan was startled. Is this why these disciples got up so early and waited for me? Fantasy, I'm really not an unparalleled expert. Author, Xuanhuan. Chapter 306. Master, can you start doing exercises now? Subakian asked weakly. The other disciples also looked hungry. Li Fan was stunned for a moment. Are these disciples waiting for him to do exercises? Too positive? He never thought that radio gymnastics could have such great charm. He suddenly felt that if he actually opened a radio gymnastics training class outside, he might be able to make a fortune in the fairyland. Why didn't I notice it before? Well, my master hasn't washed up yet. Li Fan spoke. Master, please wash your face, My disciple has already given you some water. Ling brought up a basin of water. Li Fan smiled, these disciples are very considerate. He immediately washed his face and rinsed his mouth. Master, let me pour water for you. Lu Rang hurriedly ran up and snatched Li Fan's face wash. Li Fan was a little confused, but then he saw Lu Rang pouring Li Fan's face wash water into the pot of grass, and at the same time giving some to the cows to drink. Is this disciple too lazy? Can't you just fetch water, water the grass, or feed the cows? What a bargain! Don't water the grass too much, and use the rest to water the vegetable patch and the small tree. Li Fan couldn't help but speak, and pointed to the world tree in the corner. The leaves of the small tree in the corner were trembling slightly at this moment, as if very excited. Ahem, since you like gymnastics so much, I will continue to teach you as a teacher. Li Fan immediately looked at the many disciples. Although the physical fitness of this group of disciples is really poor and they can't even complete the warm-up exercises, they are still very motivated. Li Fan also felt that it was time to exercise their bodies. Immediately, a group of disciples lined up and looked forward to it with great anticipation. Warm-up exercise, begin. Li Fan continues teaching. Ling, raise your legs a little higher. Nanfan, your movements are deformed. Li Fan guided. However, soon a group of disciples were out of breath again. There is some improvement compared to yesterday, but it is still very good. Fortunately, he is very patient. Li Fan couldn't help but sigh, which physical education teacher can be more patient than him? Okay, let me show you again. Li Fan opened his mouth and immediately started doing gymnastics. Suddenly, a group of disciples were waiting expectantly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4. Li Fan counted the rhythm in a low voice and kept up with his movements. Is what master is whispering a kind of supreme Tao sound? It sounds fascinating, it has a wonderful inspiration for my emperor's formation-breaking song. Nanfan spoke curiously. What master whispered actually made me find a rhythm of swordsmanship. It's so scary. Dugu Yuking looked excited. After drinking 2 years of wine, he opened up a sea of swords in his danchan, with thousands of swords floating in it. At this moment, every sword in the sea of swords was moving strangely. Every word is a kind of Buddhist sound, which can make people enlighten. This is the real Buddha evolving the Dharma and preaching. Qing Chen clasped his hands together and was actually enlightening. Master's whisper is like a terrifying boxing technique. If the true dragon technique is performed at this rhythm, the power will probably be doubled. Long Xuanhuan subconsciously raised his hand. It's like the sound of Dao Lun, which can make people break through the fog. As expected, everything the master says and does is the Dao. Zhang Li was filled with emotions. It seems to contain the most powerful power in the world. Lin Zhuchen was just picking up the pen and drawing the symbols according to Li Fan's rhythm. He discovered that in this state, he could actually draw a higher level spell. If I could learn 1/10,000,000th of master's technique, I would be able to avoid all diseases, right? Subakian's eyes were filled with yearning. Even Lu Rang's pot of grass follows the rhythm of 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, as if dancing. I grass, I grass, I grass, dancing with the wind. Lu Rang felt that this rhythm was very good. Soon, Li Fan finally finished a set of gymnastics. Master, please wipe your sweat quickly. Nanfan stepped forward and handed over the towel. Li Fan took it, wiped his sweat, and gave it back to Nanfan. Nanfan's eyes suddenly filled with joy. The last time Li Fan did exercises, it was Xiling who handed over a towel. As a result, Xiling directly broke through from the sea opening realm to the holy seed realm. After discussing it, a group of disciples decided to take turns. The wind is coming from the south today. The other disciples all looked envious. After Li Fan sat down, Xiaobai jumped into his arms and excitedly licked his hand with her pink tongue. Meow meow, master smells so good. Bai Xiaoqing was extremely happy. Licking and licking, Bai Xiaoqing's breath suddenly changed. Boom. At this moment, countless saintly auras poured into her body. Saint realm. Feeling this change, a group of disciples were all stunned. People are not as good as cats, people are not as good as cats. All the disciples were filled with emotion and envy. The big black dog's eyes were full of grievances, and he stuck out his tongue, but Wu Dade grabbed the dog's tail tightly and could not move forward. Is Senior Li here? At this time, Mu Jianning's voice sounded outside the small courtyard. Li Fan immediately said, "Please come in." Huo Ling Mu Jianning, and others immediately pushed the door open and entered. Why, in this courtyard, it seems that the aura of the avenue is more active. It actually made my realm go one step further. Huo Ling looked confused. What just happened? Mu Jianning took a few gentle sniffs and murmured. There is a special fragrance in the air. At this time, Li Fan had already looked at them and said with a smile. How about those cows, can they be of some help to you? There are so many cows, even if they are killed and sold for meat, they will make a small windfall. The business scale of Huo Ling and others should also be able to expand. Hearing this, Huo Ling Mu Jianning and others quickly stepped forward and saluted Li Fan. Senior Kijhen, those cows have been of great help to us. With those cattle and the White Tiger Roaring Heaven map given by our seniors, now we have completely captured the White Tiger state. Li Fan was a little surprised. Although he knew that the herd of cows and the painting would be helpful to Huo Ling and the others, he didn't expect the business to progress so much. It seems that those cattle are quite valuable when sold outside. Moreover, it seems that my painting skills are sufficient in the immortal realm. Before, he was still a little worried. After all, a place like Fairyland is said to be great at first sight, with talented people emerging in large numbers. I am afraid that it would be difficult for a small painter in a mountain village to compete with everyone in Fairyland. Therefore, he was quite surprised that his paintings were still selling well in the market. Very good. Li Fan nodded. Huo Ling Mu Jianning, and others were overjoyed when they heard the words Li Fan finally completed Senior Li's mission. Huo Ling then reported, saying, Senior, after the birth of the White Tiger Roaring Heaven diagram, the Northern Immortal Territory attracted attention, and at the junction of the Central Territory of the Northern Immortal Territory, the Eastern Territory, and the Northern Territory, something happened. I heard rumors that a unicorn, comparable to a white tiger, seems to have been born. So, I'm here to report and ask for your instructions, Senior. She was a little uneasy. Li Fan was stunned for a moment, but then he understood. When his painting spread, it really attracted the attention of the outside world. As for the unicorn that can rival the white tiger, Huo Ling obviously meant that someone had painted a unicorn painting and wanted to challenge the white tiger roaring into the sky. In the fairyland, there are indeed masters of painting. Moreover, being able to get the evaluation of equal to the white tiger shows that the other party's level is very good. Li Fan was immediately interested. In all these years, he has never met a real master in painting. The opportunity is rare. Zi Ling, pen and ink. He spoke immediately. Hearing this, Zi Ling was immediately very happy. Is master going to paint again? She immediately laid out her pen and ink for Li Fan. And Li Fan stood up and picked up his pen. Without thinking, Li Fan just put pen to paper. Suddenly, under his pen, a valley with lush vegetation and harmonious charm appeared. It seems like a supremely blessed place. At this moment, everyone felt as if they had witnessed the birth of a land of creation. Heaven and earth bless it, and the avenue flows for it. There seems to be a world hidden in the painting. And then, in this valley, there were magical trees growing, and under a magical tree, following Li Fan's brush strokes, a magical creature appeared. This kind of creature has the head of a dragon, the body of an elk, the tail of an ox, and the hooves of a horse. It was just painted on paper, but everyone felt that the moment this creature appeared, an auspicious aura arose, making people feel comfortable all over. Li Fan finally put pen to paper. Above the painting, there are 4 words. Picture of Kylan coming out of the valley. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Fantasy, I'm really not an unparalleled expert. Author, Xuanhuan. Chapter 307. Picture of Kiran coming out of the valley. Li Fan has finished the painting, and everyone is looking at the painting in surprise. It's like a real ancient beast hiding in it. It has an extraordinary aura, as if it contains a world of the holy way. It's so terrifying. Everyone murmured. And Huo Ling'er looked even more stern. Senior Li's painting recreated the ancestral land of the White Tiger clan. Does this painting involve the ancestral land of the Kylan clan? She murmured, and at this moment, she was sure. Senior Li really knows everything. He, the old man, had predicted that the birth of the White Tiger ancestral land would cause changes in the Kylan clan. Therefore, Senior Li is now giving birth to his second son. Are even the ancient imperial clans like the White Tiger clan and Kylan clan just pawns of Senior Li? She felt a little dazed. What level of power is Senior Li? Mu Qianning's beautiful eyes were filled with admiration beyond measure. Bai Xiaoyang, Holy Master Yuan Yang and others were also shocked for a long time. Li Fan also took a look at his painting with satisfaction. He was looking forward to it. What would the Kylan paintings by outside painting masters look like? This painting should be enough. Li Fan spoke. Hearing this, Huo Ling'er and others immediately saluted. Senior, take action and this chaos will be settled. They speak. That's right, Senior. At this time, Huo Ling'er added. This change seems to involve the appearance of a ghost. According to the intelligence, something like a ghost and a unicorn appeared in that area. This kind of thing is very weird and cannot be killed at all. When Li Fan heard this, he couldn't help but be a little surprised. It actually involves a ghost? Come again? When he was in Xiantian realm before, 2 ghosts seemed to have appeared. At that time, he even drew 2 talismans and asked Xian Ning and Gongya to take them out to collect the ghosts. However, he immediately realized after thinking about it that in his previous life, when it came to competition in business, he would use all possible means. In order to make money, some people often use imps to create things like the 5 ghosts wealth luck formation. Zhuzheng. Li Fan immediately spoke directly and said. Since it involves a ghost, how about you go and get rid of it? Li Fan looked at Lin Zhuzhen. Lin Zhuzhen has been learning talismans for a long time, and he should be more than enough to deal with ordinary ghosts. Upon hearing this, Lin Zhuzhen immediately stepped forward and said. Disciple, obey. Then, he looked at Huo Ling'er and asked via voice transmission. Miss Ling'er, what exactly is going on? I also want to prepare things. Huo Ling'er immediately said. The death energy is soaring into the sky. In the endless death energy, there is a terrifying unicorn that turns into a ghost and is rampant, swallowing everything. Hearing this, Lin Zhuzhen's face froze. The ghost in the Kylan painting? According to the original Creation Sutra, this thing is not easy to control. He thought for a moment, then suddenly looked at Li Fan and said. Master, can I borrow Dehei for a while? He pointed at the big black dog. When the big black dog heard this, his ears immediately stood up and he stared at Lin Zhuzhen dumbfounded. For the first time, a look of fear appeared in its eyes. Li Fan smiled and said. Sure. Li Fan had been tortured by the system with ghost drawing talismans, so he also knew that black dogs seemed to be able to suppress evil under certain circumstances. Dade, thank you for your hard work. Take Dahe and accompany Xuanhuan on another trip. Li Fan spoke. Hearing this, Wu Dade grabbed the big black dog who was so scared that he wanted to retreat, and said with excitement on his face. Master, don't worry, I will definitely complete the mission. As he spoke, he looked at Lin Xuanhuan again, patted his chest and said. Junior brother, don't worry, this dog has a lot of blood, let him use it as much as he wants. Soon, Wu Dade, Lin Xuanhuan and Huo Linger walked out of the small mountain village. Along the way, Lin Xuanhuan had also asked clearly about the situation related to the so-called Kailan ancestral land. Miss Linger, thank you very much. Let's say goodbye. They said goodbye at the entrance of the village and went their separate ways. Damn dog, why are you walking so slowly? Not long after setting off, Wu Dade looked at the black dog and said in confusion. Being timid, isn't it like your usual habits? Wow, you pet, shut up. But the black dog was uttering human words, extremely sad and angry, and said. Last time you pulled out my hair, the score wasn't settled yet. This time you want to bleed me. Who the hell are you? When Wu Dade heard this, he understood instantly. It turned out that this black dog was afraid of bloodletting. Lin Xuanhuan was stunned for a moment when he heard this, but immediately explained. Well, Dahe, don't worry, I don't need your blood. Kailan is a legendary beast. Even if it turns into a ghost, it is difficult to suppress it with a spell, so you need your help to suppress it? He said encouragingly. After all, any divine beast in the outside world must be afraid of a bloodline like Tengu. Hearing this, the black dog's eyes widened suddenly and he said. Are you serious? Won't you bleed me? You establish a written record. Lin Xuanhuan was stunned for a while after hearing this. Does this dog feel like it has become a spirit? Establish written evidence. But think about it, after all, it is a dog raised by master and cannot be treated with ordinary reasoning. He nodded, and immediately signed a document on the spot. The big black dog was relieved now, and he suddenly became majestic and said. Let's go, I will take you there and sweep across the Kailan ancestral land. It waved its paw, and in an instant, the stars moved and the space changed. Now, the Northern Immortal Territory is the junction of the Central Territory, the Eastern Territory, and the Northern Territory. There used to be the stretch of wasteland stretching for tens of thousands of miles, called Linluo Plain. A month ago, Linluoyuan suddenly changed. The Earth's crust cracked, cracks in the ground exploded, and countless death energy rushed out overwhelmingly, covering the entire Linluoyuan in an instant, and continued to spread towards the outside world. The 3 states closest to this place are all in ruins. A month has passed. This place has attracted the attention of the entire Northern Immortal Territory. All the major forces sent people here. Even some royal families from the ancient Saint clan showed up. Someone from the G family of the human race's imperial clan also appeared. Now, thousands of miles away from Linluoyuan in front, countless people gathered here. Just 3 days ago, someone finally saw the terrifying ghost here. It is said that it is like a unicorn, but it has turned into a ghost. It is so terrifying that it has swallowed many strong people at the 4th luminaire level immediately after it appeared. It's terrible, no one has dared to enter after so many days. Countless saints, forces, etc. gathered here, looking at Linluoyuan thousands of miles away, and no one dared to take a step forward. In the past month, many Holy Path forces from the Northern Territory, Central Territory, Eastern Territory, and other places have come. Some saints are even testing the waters. However, the result was very tragic. The death aura was so terrifying that some kind of deadly killing place had been formed on Linluo Plain, and no one could enter it. Don't be afraid. It is said that a few tribes have already gone to look for the Celestial Master. Celestial Master Dao? Is it the Lin family, one of the 7 lines of the human race? The ancestor of the Lin family is a generation of heavenly master emperors. If this lineage takes action, it will be very scary. How is it possible? Although the Lin family's celestial master Dao must have returned to the immortal realm, no one knows where it is. It should be some other human celestial master Dao inheritance that has taken refuge in the Saint clan. Many powerful people are talking about it. At this moment, Lin Zhichuan, Wu Dade, and Black Dog have also appeared in this area. Feeling the soaring death energy in front of him, Lin Zhichuan looked stern. This place is not simple. He felt a lot. Let's go, there are many people in front of us, let's go take a look. Wu Dade spoke. The 2 men stepped forward together with the big black dog. Ah, Mr. Lin? Mr. Wu? Why are you here? Just as they stepped forward, a girl suddenly spoke and faced them. Lin Zhichuan and Wu Dade were instantly surprised when they saw it. This girl is clearly Ji Qing. With her, there were Ji Qingyu, Ji Changming, Ji Family Supreme Elder Ji Fenghuan and others. Ji Qingyu and Ji Changming also looked over, with very surprised expressions on their faces. Even the Lord of Desolate Heaven is paying attention to what is happening here? It's Miss Qing. Lin Zhichuan smiled immediately and said. Master asked us to come here and take a look. Hearing this, Ji Qing stepped forward with a smile and said. Great, you can come in with us in a moment. However, as soon as she finished speaking, a cold voice sounded. Qing, what nonsense are you talking about? I saw a young man walking towards me unruly and said coldly. Not everyone can be with us. Remember your identity. He glanced at Lin Zhichuan and Wu Dade with great disgust. These 2 people looked like bumpkins from the village with a country dog. Hearing this, Ji Qing hurriedly explained. Cousin Qinglin, no, they are my friends. After Ji Changming reported what happened in the great northern wilderness to Ji Fenjian, the supreme elder of their lineage, Ji Fenjian gave them a hush order. No word is allowed to be revealed about Baidawang, Xiaoshan village, or even Ji Yuanqing and other people. So she doesn't dare to say it now. It seems that you are really spoiled by me. Can you be friends with the Ji family even if you are a nondescript person? Ji Qinglin even scolded him. Cousin Qinglin, are you going too far? You don't have to worry about what kind of friends we make, right? At this time, Ji Qingyu also frowned and spoke. When Ji Qinglin heard this, his eyes suddenly darkened and he said coldly. Ji Qingyu, I am the elder brother. I have the right to educate you, and I have the obligation to protect the face of the Ji family. You want to rebel against me? Yes, as long as you have the ability to become the holy son of the Ji family, I won't say anything. But alas, you are not yet. There was even hostility in his eyes. The Ji family's holy son has not yet been decided, but Ji Qingyu, who has survived the 4th level of Thunder Tribulation before, is one of the strongest contenders. It's also a thorn in Ji Qinglin's side and a thorn in his flesh. Ji Qingyu frowned when he heard this and wanted to say something, but was stopped by Ji Changming. Ji Changming shook his head, not wanting to cause a conflict between Ji Qingyu and Ji Qinglin. They are just a few outsiders, not worth mentioning. Don't hurt your harmony. At this time, the Supreme Elder Ji Fenghuan on the other side suddenly looked over. Ji Qinglin snorted coldly and said. As members of the Ji family, you should pay attention to your identity. After saying that, he turned around and left, walking to Ji Fengjuan's side. Ji Qing, however, was not angry. Regardless of Ji Qinglin's words, she said to Lin Zhichuan and Wu Dade. Master Lin, Master Wu, don't mind. Wu Dade and Lin Zhichuan just smiled. It doesn't matter, it's nothing. Immediately, they asked Ji King about the situation here. When they learned that it was very likely that a royal or even an imperial clan would appear here, Wu Dade and Lin Zhuzhen were both looking forward to it. At this moment, Ji Qinglin had already walked in front of Ji Fenghuan, the supreme elder of the Ji family. Meet the third ancestor. Ji Qinglin nodded, but said in a low voice. Qinglin, this place must contain great opportunities. If you can get it, your probability of becoming the Holy Son will be even greater. You must seize the opportunity and don't let Ji Qingyu and Ji King get it. There is also factional competition within the Ji family. Especially, the Ji family's Holy Son has not yet been decided. Ji Fenghuan is the supreme elder of Ji Qinglin's lineage, and he doesn't want Ji Qingyu and Ji King to get a piece of the pie here. In particular, Ji Qingyu's talent is already terrifying. If he gets another opportunity from the Kylin clan, it will really give Ji Qinglin a headache. Ji Qinglin nodded and said, Third ancestor, don't worry, I will definitely get the opportunity of the Kylin clan. However, it is difficult to open this place. Third ancestor, have you contacted the Lin family? The Lin family is one of the imperial bloodlines in the human race and controls the most powerful celestial master Dao. However, this bloodline is too secretive and very few people can find it. Ji Fenghuan shook his head and said, Not yet. And at this moment, above this sky, suddenly, thousands of golden lights appeared, and countless terrifying talismans turned into a golden bridge. It seems to extend from the other side of the sky. What's going on? It's so scary. Someone used great magic power to connect to this place from another dimension. The sky is filled with talismans. Has the powerful master of the celestial master way arrived? The world is shocked. Even Lin Zhuzhen looked up, quite curious. This is the first time since I entered the immortal realm that I have seen the methods of other celestial masters. Under everyone's gaze, a group of figures suddenly appeared on the bridge formed by the golden talismans. Fantasy, I'm really not an unparalleled expert. Author, Xuanhuan. Chapter 308. Above the sky. The golden charms glowed and gathered into a sky bridge. The sky bridge seems to extend from the other side of the world, and then drops directly in front of the crowd. On the overpass, a group of creatures appeared. With everyone's attention, they saw the group of creatures slowly walking down the overpass. How cool, junior brother Lin, you are also a student of Tianqi Dao. This is too powerful, can you do it? Wu Dade looked at Lin Zhuzhen curiously. Lin Zhuzhen scratched his head and said, Brother Dade, I have not learned such relatively low-level spells. This kind of space-penetrating talisman requires several thousand to open up the space. It's too useless. Regarding space crossing, the original creation scripture records that the lowest level is the space teleportation talisman. If you need it, I will draw it for you later. He thought for a while and added. However, I'm not very good at controlling the distance yet. I might accidentally teleport you to the demon realm or something like that. Hearing this, Wu Dade hurriedly waved his hands and said. No, it's okay, senior brother, it's better to stay by master's side. Now. The overpass, set off by countless talismans, finally disappeared. The group of creatures walking off the overpass have already appeared in the crowd. Among the creatures, the first ones were 3 humans wearing yellow robes. 1 old man, 2 young men. These 2 people are members of the 3 Domi Dao, a branch of the Tianqi Dao. 3 Domi Dao is also one of the forces of the Holy Dao. It has taken refuge with the Celestials. When it escaped in the past, it also left some inheritance in the immortal realm, which is the 3 Domi Dao in the immortal Dao era. Behind the 3 Taoists with 3 buckets of rice, followed a group of extremely arrogant humanoid creatures. The leader was a young man. He was dressed in silver robes, with a natural sense of superiority written all over his face. He held his head high, as if he didn't care about the world. Behind him were dozens of strong men with extraordinary auras. The middle-aged man standing next to him was even more different, his eyes were full of wildness and arrogance. Celestials. Seeing this scene, someone suddenly spoke in surprise. All the dignified imperial clan of the celestial clan are here. It seems that this is really the ancestral land of the Kylan clan. Only the imperial clan's ruins can attract the attention of the celestial clan, right? Sure enough, during the last great escape, many of the human race's holy path forces defected to the celestial race, and so did the celestial master Deo. Everyone is talking about it. Behind the three yellow-robed celestial masters were the celestials. The imperial clan among the ancient saint clan. Now, with the arrival of the celestial race, everyone feels that the origin of this place must be the Kylan ancestral land. At this moment, Wu Dade was also a little confused. He suddenly turned to look at the black dog and said, "Dead dog, what kind of creatures are the celestial beings? Are they human beings?" The black dog said indifferently, "You are a pet of ignorant people, but you are right. The celestial race was indeed a branch of the human race at the beginning. However, it gradually considered itself higher than the human race, regarded the human race as ants, and claimed to be the celestial race." Its dog nose sniffed and murmured, "The smell of cause and effect. It seems that this family was the one who deduced the northern wilderness before. Maybe the master wants to teach this clan a lesson." Thinking of this, it didn't know what it thought of, and the dog's eyes suddenly became excited. When Wu Dade heard that the celestial race was indeed a human race, he couldn't help but feel a little disappointed and said, "You can't eat it?" Lin Zhujian also nodded and said, "But fortunately, there are a lot of other animals. I wonder if any of them are as delicious as beef." His eyes were shining a little. Ji King next to him heard this, but his face was a little stunned. "Eat? Eat the saints?" These two brothers seemed to be a little perverted. "My lord, Ying Xiao, from the Tianying royal family, may I ask what you call me?" At this time, among the crowd, a girl in a golden feather skirt suddenly walked out. She has a noble temperament, a graceful figure, a smile on her face, and a natural sense of superiority. Behind her, there were several young strong men from Demon Spider Valley, Tianxia Abyss, and Human Forbidden Flower Sea. This girl is clearly the holy girl of the Tianying royal family, Ying Xiao. She originally wanted to go to northern Xinjiang to investigate the death of the four saints, but the birth of the Kylan ancestral land made her come here first. After all, the inheritance and foundation of the Kylan clan are definitely no weaker than that of the White Tiger clan. Among the Celestials, the young man in silver robe looked over and said, "My name is the Flower of Heaven." Ying Xiao Shiren stepped forward and said with a smile, "I have met Mr. Tianziwa." After saying that, she looked at the wild middle-aged man next to Tianziwa and said, "Who is this senior?" Tianziwa introduced, "This is Senior Go Changjing of the King Blood Tengu clan. Senior Go's bloodline is very powerful. He and 3 Domi of Heavenly Master Dao can suppress the Kylan Yinghui. The rumors of the Kylan ghost have spread around a long time ago, so the celestial race is also prepared. Go Changjing was the one they specially invited from the king-blooded Tengu clan. After all, according to the Tao of Heavenly Masters, the Tengu can swallow the sky, and with the help of spells, it can suppress all ghost beasts in the world. In fact, the king-blooded Tengu clan is also called the mixed-blooded Tengu clan, because there are no pure-blooded Tengu clan in the world. The mixed-blooded Tengu clan is the royal clan among the saints. Therefore, in front of them, the world generally does not dare to call them the mixed-blooded Tengu clan, but calls them the king-blooded Tengu clan. Hearing this, Ying Xiao looked even more solemn, and she also saluted Go Changjing and said, "I've met Senior." Go Changjing nodded indifferently. Then, Ying Xiao said, "Brother Tian, how about we enter this place together? Xuanhuan nodded and said. Okay, but I'll choose the things among them first. This is natural. Ying Xiaoxiao spoke and agreed. I don't know what came to mind. Tianzihua suddenly looked at everyone in the field and said. As long as all tribes are willing to enter Linluo Plain and obey our orders, they can follow us in. Hearing this, all races in the field cheered loudly. Very good. The celestial clan is worthy of being an imperial clan, with a broad mind. They spoke one after another, and immediately, the powerful men from all races ran behind the celestial race. In an instant, the originally lively venue suddenly seemed a little empty. Especially, a group of people from the Ji family, as well as Lin Jujhan, Wu Dade, and Black Dog. None of it has passed. Third ancestor, shall we go in with the celestial race? Ji Qinglin is a little anxious. If you want to enter it and face the energy of death and ghosts, you must rely on the three do rice of Heavenly Master. Ji Fenghuan also nodded, immediately stepped forward and said. Fellow Taoist from the Celestial Clan, can we come in together? He paused and said. Of course, you have to choose the treasures among them first. People under the eaves have to bow their heads. But after hearing this, Tianzihua, the silver-robed young man from the human race that day, immediately sneered and said. Human race? Is the ant race qualified to follow us? Roll. He was very disdainful. Extremely indifferent and extremely arrogant. Suddenly, everyone in the Ji family looked extremely ugly. How could the majestic imperial clan be so insulted? Ji Qingyu's face darkened and he said, it's too much. Ji Qing also said, that's right, even if you don't want to, there is no need to insult people like this, right? It's too much. Ji Fenghuan also looked extremely ugly. But, at this moment, behind Tianzihua, a middle-aged man suddenly stepped forward and whispered a few words in his ear. Tianzihua nodded immediately, then looked at Ji Fenghuan and others, and said. If you want to go in, it's not impossible, but, everyone needs to donate a drop of blood to me. As long as there is a drop of blood, I will allow you to follow me in, how about it? Hearing this, the faces of everyone in the Ji family changed. Impossible. You want my clan's essence and blood? Absolutely not. Everyone shook their heads. In particular, the Ji family is an imperial clan, and their blood contains too many things. Don't worry, I allow you to erase all the marks and traces in the blood, and in return, I allow you to pick 3 of the treasures found inside, how about it? Tianzihua sneered. Hearing this, everyone in the Ji clan frowned. The more this happens, the more it appears that the other party has a big agenda. Otherwise, how could such a condition be given? Third ancestor, I think it's okay. At this time, Ji Qinglin spoke up and said, in the ancestral land of the Kylin clan, we may be able to find Kylin fruit and Kylin saliva. As long as I can find it, among my peers, I may be invincible. I will definitely get the position of the Ji family's holy son. His eyes are full of passion. After all, this is a treasure place. Makes sense. Ji Fenghuan also murmured, this is too important to Ji Qinglin. Moreover, as long as the traces and imprints in the essence and blood are erased, it shouldn't be a big problem. He nodded immediately, looked at the celestial race, and said. We agreed. Hearing this, Ji Changming's expression changed and he hurriedly stopped him. Elder, no. The emperor's blood must not be leaked. Ji Fenghuan said coldly. I am the supreme elder. If you don't want to, you can leave with your people. Very ruthless. He now wishes that Ji Changming and others would not enter it. In this way, Ji Qinglin can take advantage of the opportunity here to widen the gap with Ji Qingyu. Fantasy, I'm really not an unparalleled expert. Author, Xuanhuan. Chapter 309. Listening to Ji Fengjuan's words, Ji Changming suddenly looked very ugly. However, he really had no way to control Ji Fenghuan. The other party is the Supreme Elder. His cultivation is even more powerful. And he had just broken through to the Saint Seed realm not long ago, and was currently only in the late Saint Seed realm. But, even so, he still gritted his teeth and waved his sleeves. We will never give away our blood. Ji Kink and Ji Qingyu also stood behind him with firm expressions. He. Ji Qinglan was disdainful and said. It's as if no one cares about you donating your blood. After saying that, a drop of blood appeared directly in his hand. Almost all the other Ji tribe members also donated their essence and blood. After all, the Supreme Elder himself took the lead, so naturally others would not say anything. Very good. Seeing this, Tianzhiwa of the Celestial Clan sneered and waved his hand to collect the blood of all the Ji clan members. You can follow us into it. He looked coldly at Ji Changming, Lin Zhichuan, and others and said. And you, get as far away as you can. After saying that, he walked towards Lin Luyuan ahead. Everyone followed. The Ji clan members also left, and Ji Qinglan gave Ji Qingyu a cold look with mockery in his eyes. Ji Changming looked at everyone going forward, sighed, and said. That's all, I don't want to wait for the opportunity here. Let's go. Ji Qingyu and Ji Kink were also sad. After all, this is most likely the ancestral land of the Kailan tribe. As long as you can enter, you will definitely gain a lot of money. Why are you panicking? At this time, Wu Dade spoke up. He smiled and said, we happen to be going in too. If you want, you can come together. Hearing this, Ji Changming and the others were surprised. Ji Changming said, but only the celestial masters under the celestial race can. Lin Zhichuan smiled and said, I am not very talented, so I will follow my master and learn the way of the heavenly master. Ji Changming and the other three were shocked when they heard this. Senior Li, is he still a heavenly master? Ji Kink's eyes opened wide. The Lord of Desolate Sky, is still proficient in the way of the heavenly master. Ji Changming was also surprised. Let's go. Lin Zhichuan opened his mouth. They also stepped forward. Soon, they approached Lin Luyuan. The death energy continued to overflow, making all cultivators who approached feel a little uncomfortable. Huang Bai, now it's time for your master and apprentice. Tianzhiwa calmly spoke to the old Taoist priest. The old Taoist priest is the heavenly master of 3 Do Mi Dao. He was assigned here this time. He nodded and said. Master, wait a moment. He turned around and said. This place is full of death energy. I will give everyone a righteousness talisman. Follow my instructions and form a righteousness array to move forward. You will be safe. Immediately, his 2 apprentices distributed spells to everyone. There were nearly 10,000 people in the field, all of whom had obtained the talismans and formed a righteousness formation according to Taoist Huang Bai's instructions. Enter. Huang Baiun shouted, and everyone followed him inside. The talismans in their hands glowed, and the righteousness formation actually forced away. Let's go too. Wu Dade and others also stepped forward. Stop, do you guys want to sneak across with us? At this time, in the crowd, Ji Qinglan looked at Ji Qingyu and others indifferently and said. Master Tian, these people have not donated their blood to you, can you let them follow? He complained directly. After finally being able to enter the Kailan ancestral land, he certainly would not let his competitors get a chance. Tianzhiwa also gave Ji Qingyu and others a cold look and said. Disappear as far as you can. If you dare to follow us, you will die. Taoist Huang Bai, who was in the lead, said coldly, there is no protection for ants outside the righteousness array. Ji Qingyu and others' faces were ashen. Tisk, who wants to follow you? I've never seen such a conceited person. Wu Dade sneered and said. Junior brother Lin, show them what you are capable of. Lin Zhuchen immediately took out a stack of talismans and gave each person one piece. Then, they walked into the deathly area from the side. When they entered, the death chi was actually forced away. Huh? This guy is a heavenly master. Are there any other heavenly masters who have come here? It seems like their charms are pretty good. It was a surprise to everyone. Upon seeing this, Taoist Huangbei frowned and said coldly, "Don't worry, everyone, this kid is not using righteousness talismans at all. He has probably learned a few clumsy talisman techniques. If they can't go far, their spells will lose their effectiveness and they will die on the spot." Hearing this, everyone nodded. The masters of Tianqi Dao all spoke, and the young man looked too young. As for heavenly masters, they usually become more powerful as they get older. Haha, handing over your life to two unscrupulous people? I hope you won't die too miserably. Ji Qinglin sneered. They also started to go in. The further inside, the more intense the death energy becomes. Like black mist, visibility gradually became extremely low, and one could only see a distance of 10 meters at most. These death auras are a bit weird, even the consciousness can be blocked. Yes, fortunately there are masters of Tianqi Dao, otherwise we wouldn't be able to get in at all. The death energy here is enough to affect the masters of the four luminaries realm. Even with the righteousness talisman, I feel a little short of breath. Everyone spoke one after another. By this point, the low-level cultivators were already out of breath. Even the strong ones in the four-ya realm almost always have a layer of sweat on their faces. The speed of the team's march continued to slow down. Haha, are Ji Qingyu and others dead? Ji Qinglin was looking forward to it at this moment. Because the death energy was like black mist, they had been unable to see the traces of Ji Qingyu and others. If Ji Qingyu died here, that would be the best outcome. Ji Fenhuan said calmly. Not necessarily. After all, they must have some magic weapons on them. But gradually inward, they will definitely not be able to hold on. Now, junior brother, the old Taoist priest said that this of yours is not a righteous talisman. While walking, Wu Dade asked curiously. Lin Zhuchen scratched his head and explained, I don't know what a righteousness talisman is, it's not even mentioned in the original creation scriptures. As he spoke, he explained again and said. But it should be relatively low level. It takes thousands of talismans and the blood of living creatures to barely construct a talisman that can truly resist the death energy. Unless the blood of those people can always support it, they may not be able to leave far. Hearing this, Wu Dade was stunned for a moment and said. What about ours? Lin Zhuchen smiled and said. It can protect against all kinds of evil spirits in the world. Immediately, Wu Dade was relieved. Ji Qingyu, and others also felt complicated when they heard this. That is the three Do Rice Dao. It is a famous existence in the entire Tianqi Dao. It can be said that it is second only to the Lin family of the imperial clan. As a result, Lin Zhuchen is only a relatively low-level person? Senior Li, you are amazing. Ji Changming couldn't help but sigh. No wonder the supreme elders of their lineage had repeatedly warned them not to reveal anything about Senior Li. It seemed that the Lord of the Wild Sky was involved in a lot of things. Not long ahead, the death energy in front suddenly became thinner. A strange forest actually appeared. Hey, the crystal piece emits a faint light. When he arrived here, Wu Dade unexpectedly spoke. He took out the crystal piece, and it shone brightly. Are there rare animals here? Rare plants? He was surprised. The big black dog also looked forward and suddenly said. I don't know about rare animals, but most of the rare plants do exist. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Fantasy, I'm really not an unparalleled expert. Author, Xuanhuan. Chapter 310. Rare plants? What rare plant? Lin Zhujian and Wu Dade were both curious. The black dog raised his paw, pointed forward and said, "It should be close to the Kailan tribe's valley. This area should be the Kailan clan's Lin forest. Wu Dade and Lin Zhujian were even more confused and asked, "Lin Shulan?" Black Dog said, "There is a sacred fruit forest of the Kailan tribe. The Kailan fruit is quite famous, but most of the ones on the outside are just ordinary Kailan trees with some spiritual energy. The real Kailan sacred tree is in the Kailan valley. They should move forward and enter the forest. Not far away, a huge old tree stands. This old tree is taller than the surrounding trees. On the top of the tree, there are 6 dark red fruits hanging. The fruit is the size of a peach, but it has a layer of strange fruit patterns, like a strange beast. Is this the unicorn fruit?" Wu Dade's eyes were excited and he said, "Come on, let's go over and take a look." They approached immediately. However, in front of the old tree, there was a sudden roar of a beast, and a ghost beast that looked like a big dog suddenly appeared and rushed toward them. Ghost. Lin Zhujian was extremely surprised. He immediately stepped forward and suddenly shot out the spell. The powerful talisman exuded the secret power of the runes, instantly controlling the ghost. This ghost is very powerful. Let me take its ghost power and use it for cultivation. Lin Zhujian took action instantly. Not long after, the ghost beast lay on the ground, its eyes filled with helplessness and resentment. This should be the sacred beast that the Kailan tribe used to protect the Kailan fruit, but it has turned into a ghost. The black dog opened his mouth and said, "It seems that the ghost unicorn rumored by the outside world is the transformation of the unicorn guarding the sacred unicorn tree. These spiritual trees outside are all nourished by the Kailan divine tree. Although the spiritual trees are withered, they are not infected by the death energy, and the spiritual fruits are still intact. Does this mean that the Kailan divine tree is still there? Its eyes are shining." At this moment, Wu Dade had already stepped forward and picked 6 fruits from the tree. "Come on, take one each and try it." Wu Dade gave one to each person and gave one to the big black dog. Ji Kink and the other 3 people received the Kailan fruit with shocked expressions on their faces. "This is a unicorn fruit," Ji Kink murmured. "If you put it outside, it will definitely trigger a fight." Ji Qingyu looked complicated. Ji Changming, on the other hand, said directly and hurriedly, "Master Wu, Master Lin, this unicorn fruit is too rare, we can't have it." This opportunity was too precious, he didn't dare to ask for it. But Wu Dade said, "Isn't it just a fruit? There's more ahead. Let's all try it. Don't be afraid, it's not a rare thing." "Not something rare?" Ji Changming looked complicated. Wu Dade and the others had already started eating. Just after taking a bite, Wu Dade felt disgusted and said, "This isn't sweet enough, it's too bad." Lin Zhujian also nodded and said, "The peel is a bit thicker and the juice is a bit less, boring." He immediately threw the fruit on the ground. Even the black dog just took a bite and immediately vomited it, saying, "It's too far off, the taste is really bad. There is nothing to eat except the fruits from the Kirin sacred tree." Seeing this scene, the 3 members of the Ji family were stunned. This is a unicorn fruit. Even though it does not grow from the Kirin sacred tree, it is still a first-class sacred object. If you put it to the outside world, the powerful ones would all be trying to defeat you. As a result, now, even dogs dislike it. Ji Qingyu and others, who had just picked up the unicorn fruit and were about to eat it and refine it, silently put it back into their pockets. "You can't eat this fruit, even dogs don't want it. If they eat it, their self-esteem won't be able to bear it. Let's go, keep moving forward." Lin Zhuchen took the talisman from the ghost beast and prepared to leave. "Junior brother, don't you kill this beast?" Wu Date asked. Lin Zhuchen smiled and said, "I have already neutralized most of the ghost power of this ghost beast, and it can no longer do evil. Such a fun thing, leave some for Master Huang Bai behind." They immediately moved on. Not long after, they discovered another huge ancient tree. This time there were only 5 fruits on the tree. Lin Zhuchen and Wu Date each tried another one with the attitude of giving it a try. "But I only took one bite. It's still the same, astringent and unpalatable." Wu Date looked disgusted. "It's a little better than the one before, but it's also inedible." Lin Zhuchen also shook his head. They both threw it away again. The 3 members of the Ji family were even more speechless. "The fruit on this tree is not a little bit better than the one before. It's almost close to the 0-level elixir among the holy medicines, right? As a result, in the eyes of others, it is inedible." Looking at the fruits in their hands, Ji Qingyu and others suddenly felt a little depressed. The holy fruit that I and others regard as a treasure is like eating cabbage. Not even a dog. They advance continuously. Soon, 7 ancient trees were discovered before and after. There are more and less fruits, but the further inside, the better the quality. Along the way, Ji Qing and Ji Qingyu also got a lot. At the same time, I saw Lin Zhuchen and Wu Date took a bite and threw one away. Seeing those holy fruits being eaten and then thrown to the ground, Ji Qingyu and others fell into deep silence. Is this how the Kailan clan relies on to live? This imperial clan is a bit miserable. Wu Date ate the fruit from the 7th fruit tree and threw it away. He couldn't help but look sympathetic. Yes, the imperial clan are too poor. Lin Zhuchen couldn't help but complain. Hearing these words, Ji Changming and the others' blood pressure soared. "I almost fainted. This is the sacred fruit of the Kailan tribe. It would be shocking to the outside world. Moreover, with such a large sacred fruit forest, all 7 sacred fruit trees bear fruit, which is incredible. As a result, if you stay here, the life of the imperial clan will be a bit difficult." "Too poor? Ugh, I feel like I'm a ghetto girl." Ji Qing sheds tears. Ji Qingyu felt complicated in her heart. So inhuman. Ji Changming's smile was bitter. Wu Date and Lin Zhuchen had the ability. In other villages, the holy medicine is grown as food. Thinking of this, he suddenly felt. The Ji family is so poor. We've arrived at Kailan Valley. At this time, the big black dog suddenly raised his paw and pointed forward. Ahead, a lifeless valley appeared. Among them, there are all kinds of wailing and pitiful screams, as if death and massacre across millions of years are still happening. And at this moment, rear. Everyone, hold on. We're almost there. Taoist Huang Bai, sweating profusely. He tried his best to maintain his righteousness. Behind him, the strong men of all races were all panting and struggling. Look, there is a forest ahead. At this time, someone suddenly pointed ahead. Everyone looks at it. The fruit forest ahead, is it Linlin Forest? Lin Shulin, is the sacred fruit forest of the Kailan tribe. What a great opportunity, what a great opportunity. If there are still 1 or 2 holy fruits left, it will be a blessing beyond heaven. For a moment, everyone was excited. No matter how tired they were just now, they felt it was worth it now. The eyes of the Tianziwa of the celestial race are all bright. Go, move forward. They moved on. After a while, we arrived in front of a huge old tree. Hey, that's not right. This tree is obviously still alive, so it should still have the holy fruit. Where is the holy fruit? Someone spoke. Roar. At this moment, a ghost beast suddenly roared out and rushed out. No. The guardian sacred beast of the Kailan tribe. The ghost beast transformed into this kind of sacred beast is very difficult to deal with. Huangbai was shocked, turned around suddenly, looked at Go Changjing next to Tianzihua, and said, "Please take action, Senior Tengu clan, and suppress it with me." This ghost beast was transformed into the guardian beast of the Kailan tribe. The ordinary methods of Tianchi Tao cannot suppress it at all. He has no confidence at all. Therefore, the nemesis of evil creatures like Tengu is needed to help. Hearing this, Go Changjing nodded and stepped forward. The power of Go Changjing's bloodline was fully activated, and in an instant, all the Black Death energy around him was forced back. And Huangbai also immediately used Taoism. He was sweating profusely and almost collapsed. But, finally, the ghost beast was subdued. Awesome, Mr. Huang. As expected of a master of Tianchi Dao, he can even subdue ghosts and beasts. The Celestials are too well prepared. The Celestial Masters and the powerful men of the king-blooded Tengu clan will be able to overcome all evil spirits. Everyone was amazed. Huangbai, who was sweating profusely, also laughed and said, "It's just a ghost beast, what's the point?" Go Changjing nodded even more, with a trace of pride on his face. His bloodline from the King Blood Tengu clan was indeed invincible. They immediately walked to the tree, but when everyone looked up, they saw no fruit on the tree. What's going on? This tree is obviously not contaminated by the aura of death. There should be some holy fruit left. Everyone is confused. Huh? What is this on the ground? At this time, the attentive Sky Eagle King Yang Xiao suddenly discovered something on the ground. She lowered her head and picked up a fruit. Is this the holy fruit? I understand, the holy fruit has matured, so it fell off on the ground. It's a god, it's a god. Everyone was pleasantly surprised, and when they looked at Yang Xiao, their eyes were full of envy. But Yang Xiao frowned a little, because someone clearly bitten a piece of her fruit. Been eaten? Impossible. I found one too. Here too. At this time, the strong men from the Tianchi clan and the human Forbidden Flower Sea suddenly spoke excitedly. They found two more ones from the ground. All treasures are selected by our clan first. At this time, Tianzihua suddenly said coldly, giving Miss Xiao the one she has, hand over the other two. Suddenly, the strong men who found the two fruits had ugly faces, but they still handed them over. When Tianzihua got the fruit, his face turned cold and he said angrily, "How dare you steal it? Get them." As soon as he finished speaking, the powerful celestial race man behind him took action. Ah! With two shrill screams, the strong men from the human band Flower Sea and the Tianchi Abyss fell directly to the ground and were crippled. No. We didn't eat it secretly. Master Tian, it's really none of our business. They were all begging. At this time, Yang Xiaoxiu's expression also changed, and she came closer and said, "Master Tian, maybe I really don't blame them. Mine seems to have been bitten by someone." Tianzihua frowned even more, holding two fruits, extremely suspicious. Huh. At this time, Yang Xiao suddenly pointed to a fruit in Tianzihua's hand and said, "This fruit, how does it look like it was bitten by a dog?" Fantasy, I'm really not an unparalleled expert. Author, Gui Xian. Chapter 311. Finally found 3 unicorn fruits. But, have they all been bitten? Was one of them bitten by a dog? It was a surprise to everyone. Could it be that there are still living creatures here? Impossible. This place is already a dead place. All the Kailan tribe is dead, let alone the humans. Besides, it's impossible for a dog to come here. Everyone is suspicious. However, among the crowd, Ji Qinglan suddenly had a bad premonition in his heart. Some people have bitten it, and some dogs have bitten it. It means someone also has a dog. Not. However, his thought flashed past, and he immediately shook his head and said, "No, I cannot." At this moment, Tianzihua also looked at Taoist Huangbei and said, "In your opinion, someone arrived here early." He also suspected it. Impossible. Taoist Huangbei shook his head firmly and said, "Everyone saw how ferocious this ghost beast was just now. It took me all the strength of 9 oxen and 2 tigers, plus the help of the strong men from the king-blooded Tengu clan to subdue him. If it were anyone else, even if they got here early, they would definitely have been killed by the ghost beast, and there would be no way they could get the Kirin fruit." Even Go Changjing nodded and said, "This ghost beast is extremely powerful, no one can break through it." Hearing this, everyone nodded. "This doesn't make sense. I understand, this fruit may have been eaten by someone millions of years ago, before the Kailan tribe was extinct." At this time, Ji Fenghuan patted his head and said with a look of sudden realization, "Millions of years ago, some people ate these fruits, but because these fruits are holy elixirs, they will not rot after time. It may even be because of the protection of these trees, which isolates them from the power of time." When he explained this, everyone suddenly felt, it makes sense. Yes, that must be the case. This is the only explanation. Everyone speaks. Millions of years ago, what kind of creature dared to break into the Kailan ancestral land to eat the Kailan fruit? It couldn't be those beings involved in Yang disaster, right? At this time, Go Changjing was muttering. Hearing this, everyone gasped. Probably. Only those beings can enter Kailan Valley at will. Only they can take a bite of the holy fruit and throw it away. After all, the holy object in our eyes is just a taste in the eyes of those terrifying beings. Then, do these fruits that have been eaten by that terrifying existence also contain great opportunities? Everyone is talking about it. And Ji Qinglan, listening to the discussions of the people around him, was also filled with excitement at this moment. What a great opportunity! He hurriedly stepped forward and said, "Master Tian, just now you promised to let us choose 3 treasures." Tianzihua was a little unhappy when he heard this, but he could only say, "You say." Ji Qinglan said excitedly, "I want one of these unicorn fruits. This is the holy fruit of the Kailan tribe. If you get it and refine it, you will quickly enter the realm of the holy seed, right? Moreover, your physical fitness will also be greatly improved. When the time comes, are you still afraid that you won't be able to compete for the Holy Sun?" Tianzihua was very reluctant when he heard this. This is a treasure. Especially, being bitten by those terrifying beings, God knows how much mystery it contains. But, in front of tens of thousands of people, he promised Ji Qinglan and others. If he broke the contract, the Celestial clan would not be able to live with it. Don't worry, we should still be able to find it later. At this time, beside him, a middle-aged strong man from the celestial race spoke. This middle-aged strong man looked indifferent and his aura was dormant. It was he who had previously asked Tianzihua to agree to bring Ji Qinglan and others in, on condition that he get a drop of blood. This person's name is Tian Changfeng. Hearing this, Tianzihua nodded and said, "This dog-bitten one will be given to you. Remember, you only have the choice of 2 treasures." His voice was cold. Ji Qinglan excitedly took the dog-bitten fruit. Feeling the surging power of the holy path from the fruit, he became excited. "This is my great blessing. Ji Qingyu, so what if you are talented? I have already obtained the holy fruit, you will definitely lose." He clenched his fists. Beside him, Ji Fenghuan was also very pleased that he had finally found a great opportunity for his descendants. He reminded Qinglan, "Start refining now, race against time." When Ji Qinglan heard this, he lowered his head without hesitation and took a bite of the fruit cherishingly. After the fruit entered his stomach, he began to refine it with all his strength. "Let's move on." Tianziwa speaks. Everyone is also looking forward to it. After all, there is hope ahead. And at this moment, Valley Mouth. So angry. Lin Zhuchen and others have already arrived here. The terrifying Black Death energy turned into terrifying ancient beasts and pounced on them instantly. Original creation, invincible. Lin Zhuchen took one step forward, as strong as the wind, and the spell in his hand was even more brilliant, forming a field of light around them. Come with me. Lin Zhuchen spoke directly. Those terrifying death auras are actually unable to invade the light realm. Several people moved forward. Roar. Ouch. Just entered the valley. In the death aura, countless corpses of strange beasts suddenly appeared rampantly. There are tigers with wings, ancient monitor lizards, and even giant snakes with 4 wings in the sky. There is no doubt that these creatures were powerful men who roamed the earth in the ancient times. They may even have participated in the war between the Kailan tribe and Yanghui. However, all these creatures were reduced to corpses. Now, it has turned into a corpse. Roar. And behind the countless corpses, faintly in the black mist, there was a strange beast several thousand feet tall walking rampant. You can vaguely see the ghostly beast with the head of a dragon and the body of an elk. Ghost Kailan. Dehei, help me. Lin Zhuchen shouted loudly. Hearing this, the Tengu suddenly grew in size. Like a terrifying ancient giant dog. The power of blood flowed out. In an instant, countless Yin ghost corpses slowed down their movements at this moment, and some even became sluggish. They looked at the huge Tengu with rotten eye sockets, and their bodies were actually trembling. This is an instinctive fear. Even if these corpses turn into ghosts, they will still be afraid when facing the beasts with stronger bloodline. In particular, Tengu is a beast that suppresses evil. Even the dark ghost Kailan running rampant in the black mist seemed to have stopped at this moment. And at this moment, Lin Zhuchen shouted loudly, and a pen appeared in his hand. The Vulcan brush leaf fan made for him with chicken feathers. At this moment, under Vulcan's pen, a terrifying spell formed instantly with the stroke of the pen, as if there was divine fire burning. Destroy the illusion talisman, go. Lin Zhuchen shouted loudly. This talisman suddenly magnified infinitely, like a bright sun, suddenly shooting towards the ghost Kailan behind the countless corpses. Wherever the spell passed, countless ghost corpses below suddenly fell to the ground one after another. The ghost Kailan lurking in the black mist was directly shot by this spell. Roar. The ghost Kailan let out a shrill cry and ran away quickly. Chase. Lin Zhuchen shouted. They immediately went to chase him. The deathly black mist ahead is getting less and less. Huh? What is that? What a gorgeous light. There is actually a place ahead, a place with strange lights shining. They all stopped and observed. This is the center of the valley and the center of the entire Linluyuan. The entire Linluyuan has been turned into a dead zone, and the black energy is soaring into the sky, but at the core, there is actually a 1,000-meter square area, shining with divine light. Outside this core area where divine light shines, there is a magical barrier that blocks everything. Not a trace of black mist invaded it. People outside can't see what's inside. Outside the barrier, there is a huge ancient tree, far larger than the previous 7, and the tree is full of fruits. At this moment, a ghostly unicorn like a giant elephant is charging crazily towards the barrier, seeming to want to escape. However, the light barrier blocked it. Yingui Kailan's body seemed to have been shot by a light arrow. A golden light was smelting in its body, consuming its ghost energy. Is this the true form of Yingui Kailan? Lin Zhuchen was surprised and said. I understand, this is the ghost Kailan rumored by the outside world. The guardian beast of the 8th fruit tree, is far more powerful than the guardian beasts of the previous 7 trees. It was very possible that he was a hybrid unicorn during his lifetime. Wu Dade's eyes shone brightly and he said. Junior brother, hurry up, get rid of this ghostly unicorn, and we can feel free to taste the taste of unicorn fruit. It doesn't matter if it's a holy fruit or not, the main thing is that I want to taste the real Kirin fruit. Lin Zhujian also nodded and said with a smile. This ghost Kylin has been hit by my desolation talisman. As long as I suppress it and don't let him escape, the ghost energy will be refined by me. He looked at the big black dog and said, Big black dog, help me hold it down. And at this moment, beyond the valley, Taoist Huangbei and others finally arrived here. It's so scary. What kind of creature is it that actually ate so many unicorn fruits? And each one is only one bite. It's too extravagant. Don't you even pay attention to the treasures of the Kylin tribe and the terrifying existences from millions of years ago. As everyone walked along, they picked up a lot of unicorn fruits under the 7 fruit trees. But all were bitten. Even the bite marks still look fresh. If my guess is correct, there is a very high probability that the Kylin sacred tree is hidden here. Tian Changfeng, a strong man from the Celestial clan, looked more and more solemn. What the clan is looking for must be here. Kirin Wood. Is the valley in front of you, the Kylin Valley recorded in ancient books. The once supreme blessed land, the place where the Kirin sacred tree grew, has now turned into this. Everyone sighed. We are here, let's take the unicorn fruit first. It will just replenish our strength. At this time, Tian Changfeng opened his mouth. According to his estimation, there must be a big battle inside. Be prepared. Hearing this, geniuses such as Tian Zihua and Yang Xiaoxiao all nodded. There were quite a few people who were given Kirin fruit just now, and now they have all taken it out and started taking it. They all ate with great treasure and care. Why does it feel like there's a bit of saliva on this fruit? An old strong man frowned slightly and thought to himself that this Kylin Valley is really amazing. It can even retain the saliva of creatures from millions of years ago. Yang Xiaoxiao also picked up a bitten fruit with her slender hands, put it into the cherry mouth, and slowly chewed the taste. She showed an expression of enjoyment. Kylin Guo was really powerful. This is even more true for Tian Zihua and others. After taking it, their auras increased dramatically. Some geniuses are even about to break through in an instant, but they are suppressed forcefully. After all, this place is too evil, and they dare not go through the tribulation here. Keep going. Tian Zihua gave a cold shout. Taoist Huangbei continued to step forward, but by this point, he could no longer hold on. The 7 ghost beasts before and after him almost exhausted his cultivation. Terrible. Even the mixed blood Tengu clan is a little tired as they continue to carry out the scriptures. Roar. As soon as everyone entered, there were countless corpses in front of them, slowly walking towards them. Lin Zhujian did not completely destroy these ghost corpses, but only refined most of the ghost energy in them. I'm going to fight for my life. Taoist Huangbei shouted loudly. Blood suddenly dripped out of his hands. He drew a blood talisman. At the same time, at this moment, the strong men in the field suddenly felt that part of their blood had been deprived of themselves. Is he taking advantage of my blood? This, if we can't get through it, we will die too. Taoist Huangbei, you are so cruel. Everyone's expressions changed drastically. Only now did they realize that the righteousness charm given to them by Taoist Yu Huangbei was actually so evil. But Tian Zihua just sneered. If he didn't use his majestic blood energy to break open the corpse of the Yin ghost, how could his celestial clan let other clans follow in? Don't even think about it. Countless blood energy, under the guidance of Huangbai, formed a larger blood talisman. Please Tengu Senpai. He even looked at Go Changjing. Go Changjing also got angry and transformed into his true form, which turned out to be a spotted dog. It screamed. The two of them worked together. Those countless ghost corpses were suddenly pressed to the ground by the powerful blood talisman. Very good. Tianqi is really strong. Everyone was overjoyed. Taoist Huang Bei was stunned for a moment when he saw this scene. Did you actually succeed? My talisman cultivation is actually so advanced. He instantly felt like he was floating. These ghost corpses were transformed into powerful ferocious beasts from ancient times. He originally planned to blood sacrifice more than half of the people to suppress them. However, I didn't expect it to be so easy. Everyone, I am Master Huang Bei, follow me, that's right. He looked proud. Such a record could not be achieved even by the Lin family of the Heavenly Master Imperial clan. Go Changjing was also very proud and said, my clan takes action and the gods and ghosts fight against the changes. Tianzihua also nodded. This time he came to Tianqi and the Tengu clan. Sure enough, he found the wrong person. Go, move forward. They moved on. Everyone, be careful. There might be that ghostly Kylin hiding in front of you. Taoist Huang Bei led the way and said solemnly. The yin ghost Kylin is a rare ghost in the sky and on the earth. Only the strongest of us in the three-do rice road can subdue it. For ordinary people to approach, there is only one way to die. However, he was stunned before he said the word Tiao. Because the scene ahead shocked all of them. I saw, the corpse of a giant elephant like yin ghost Kylin fell to the ground, and on top of the yin ghost Kylin, there was a big black dog. Next to yin gui Kylin, a young man is evolving a spell and refining the power of yin gui. At the same time, under a fruit tree nearby, a fat man was holding a few fruits with a look of disgust on his face. After taking a bite, he threw away one. Seeing this scene, everyone was stunned. Completely stunned.